Hi guys, it's Zahid and I'm looking to sell my car. Well, it's actually my wife's car, but I'm looking to sell it. So this is the car that I have available to sell. And please have a look at this full video before giving me a call or even before coming down to look at the car. The reason being is because I don't want to waste your time. I've had a look at a few cars in the past myself, and a lot of people tend to come down, waste your time. I've gone around and sort of spoken to people and there's been different sort of expectations. So I want you to have a quick look at this and then figure out if this car is right for you or not. So I'm going to go through the full details of the car, all the features that it has available inside it, and then towards the end I'll be covering any of the damages that are in the car as well. So I've had this car since 2017, and I'll be going through every single detail about the car. So I'll pretty much know everything about it because I've had it since it's brand new from 0 mile. So let's get started and let me show you around in the car. So this is the passenger side. Let's get inside. Let's have a look. So just in here you've got automatic head beams right here, or you can manually utilize them as well. And you've got other features that I haven't actually utilized. God knows what that is. And this one here, it tunes the lights, makes them lighter and brighter. You've got fully automated windows, so automatic windows, and you've got child lock on the right and on the left as well. So what that does is if you want to open up the child lock, you can control it from here rather than having to, with most cars you have to, do them from here, wherever the button usually beeps for them. But here, if you want to let your kids out and you're in a safe place, you can easily allow them or just lock them in from there. So you've got your the mirrors, side mirrors, you can control it from here. So the right one you can adjust it like that or like that, whatever direction you want to put it on. That's in neutral, that's that, and that's the heated. So this, in winter time it gets really foggy, or wind, or whatever it gets. So it's a heated mirrors, and yeah, that just heats it up and gets rid of any of the moisture, whatever's in the mirror, making it nice and clear to have a look at. So you got the automatic boot door. So when you hold it down, it opens up just from here. That's one way of opening it, or alternatively there's a button just underneath there. You can press that and it'll open up. Got a boot space, but we'll cover that in a second. So carrying on, the car, as you know, is around about 39,000 or something. Cool. So here, as you start the car, you'll notice there's absolutely no lights on it whatsoever, and that's the current mileage at the moment, 39,000. And also it tells you towards the back who's wearing the seatbelt and who's not wearing the seatbelt, just right here. So as you can see, there's no lights. I've started the car up and I've got the P light for parking on right now. Seatbelt's not on, it's got all that stuff inside it. All the fuel is just here, and how hot the engine things there as well. This one here, it tells you the temperature, you can control it. So if I adjust this, it'll adjust it in the full car. I can synchronize it across the whole car. I can have open vent, or I can have closed vent, or whatever. 3 zone, so the back is different, the front is different, or I can control the rear. So this will be controlling the rear. I hardly use this, but it's good for if anyone's feeling really hot at the back, you can put them down, and whoever's at the front, you can kind of change it around, or people can just select their own zones or whatever you want to do. Or if you driving alone and you feel you want to warm the whole car up or cool it all down, it's just from here. So the AC, which is, one second, just right here, I hardly use the AC. So you got AC on here, you got eco mode for the AC as well, and you can just keep it off. So this is really good because it allows you to control the temperature. It automatically controls it. If you put it on that, it will cool it down until it's the right temperature, and if you put it on really high, it'll heat it up until the appropriate temperature is. Or you can control the fan speed from here, up or down. So this is very basic stuff anyway. So you've got max at the front there, clears up the screen really well and very quickly as well. You've got parking sensors around the whole car, so you can turn them off from there, or you can turn them on. That to turn the screen off, if you want to turn it off, that's entirely your choice, however you want to set it. I like to normally just keep it around about this setting, or even if I want to have the car in front of me, I got that there. So that's to turn off the traction. So this is a stop start, right? So whenever you're dipping your foot down, the stop start, it gets activated. Here's a different dynamics, and you can adjust it from here. So if you're driving and you want to like sort of make in sports mode or whatever you want to put it in, it gets adjusted from there. So that's all the buttons right here. There's a lot of good stuff. That's the rear screen. So whenever it's foggy or whatever in winter time, that works out really good. So this is something I'll put on myself. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. But all it does is you put your phone there and it just holds it on, and it's connected to with a cigarette lighter just there. So I've done it like neatly, whatever. I tucked it away and double taped it, whatever. But that's really nicely well secure. If you want to have it on, you can keep it. If you want me to remove it, I'll just remove it. But it does charge your phone, so you put your phone against it and it'll charge your phone. Okay, moving on to the right side here. So this has got the raindrops, right? So if you want to have small raindrops, quick raindrops, whatever, etc., fast is there. So that's completely, just to do it one time, you can move it down. And then you got off, auto, high and low. But these are rain activated. So whenever it starts raining, you can this will automatically kick in, and it'll work like that. On the left side, you've got your beams, to flash someone, whatever, or just turn them on completely. Now this is my favorite. I can't live without this, right? So I've been utilizing it for so long, and I absolutely love it. So this is the speed cruise control, right? And I'll tell you why I like this a lot is because on this one here, what I like is that you can set it on a speed limit. So if you press that button at the top, just right there, it puts it on a speed limit. You'll notice just there, right? So that's cruise control now. And if you put it on this one, there's a speed limit. So the reason why I like this is because when I'm going at high speed, let's say for example 70 miles an hour on the motorway, I don't want to put it in cruise control because someone in front of me might brake, right? And then I have to reactivate the cruise control again. So what I do is if I put on speed limit and I set it to, let's say 70 miles an hour, what this will do is it'll stop me from going anything faster than that. So if someone does brake in front of me, I'll slow down or whatever, I'll let go of my gas. But as soon as they speed up, I press the gas down, and this car will only catch up to them till like 70 miles an hour, whatever I set it up, right? So it'll only catch up to that amount there. So it allows me to sort of not do excessive speeds, go over the speed limit or whatever. Let's vroom the car. Works out really good. So you can hear the engine's really good. So I've had this car since the beginning, right? And it's mechanically awesome. Honestly, really good car. Have had no issues, not a single issue with the car. Well, I've had one issue with it, but I've got that rectified, etc. And that was not picked up well by the mechanic, but that's been rectified. I'll come to that in a second. But right now, there's absolutely no mechanical issues whatsoever. The car sounds so smooth, really, well conditioned. It's well lubricated. You can't hear any squeaks. All is topped up. All the liquids are topped up. It's the service has always been done on time. MOTs always been done on time. One thing I just remembered about the car is the wheels. These are lipped wheels. So what that means is they're not very easy to curb. So you can see a few scratches here, but those are like, you would have to put in a bit of effort to get that done. But generally speaking, those are lipped wheels and they're very hard to curb. And also another thing about these is that here it's got some sort of sensor inside it which tells you your pressure's low. So let's say you puncture your tire for some reason by mistake or whatever, it'll show you that the tire pressure is low or whatever, and it's going to tell you. If you leave the car inside, the key inside the car, it'll tell you. The other thing is the key is it's contactless. So you don't need to plug it in anywhere or put it anywhere, whatever. You just press the button, realize the key's inside it. If you leave and you left the car here, or someone else has left, right, with the keys, it'll tell you, notify you of that as well. So anyway, with the rest of the car, as you can see, it's all in good condition. You know, there's no issues whatsoever. There's no chips or anything inside it. The interior is in absolute immaculate condition. Really good condition. So the gearbox, everything's in an excellent condition as well. So it goes in nicely as well. And then it reverses down and to the left. So you'll see that all the sensors, etc. come on. So let me give you a bit more of a tour in the car. And this is in immaculate condition. You obviously get to see it better from the pictures. This one here, what it does is it can control the temperature from behind, you know, of the car. So that's the so far. See, another really good thing about this car is the Apple Play. Really beneficial. So whenever you're traveling, you can put the map up just there and you'll be able to navigate using that. So the maps are literally just here. You open that up, it'll take you to wherever you want to go. So rather than relying on your phone, you can easily look at the screen instead for navigation. That was just one use alone that I could think of. There's also like messages, some sort of notifications, whatever comes up. You'll be obviously more familiar with Apple Play, so those are really good. So I know who's messaged me whilst I'm driving, and it also reads it out loud to you as well. So you've got the now playing functions, whatever's playing now, you go to that. Any calendar notifications, whatever you want to see, any WhatsApp information that comes through, you'll be able to pick up on that as well. So any notifications, that works out really good. Another really good thing is the podcast. So you can easily load up podcasts in here, and whenever the kids are listening to something or they want to hear something, so like here I've got this, I tend to put that on for the kids, and if I want to, like, you know, listen to something else myself while I'm driving, I can easily put on my favorite podcasts. But it works out really good. Instead of me having to scroll on my phone whilst I'm driving, I can easily just put it on straight from here instead. So in terms of the car itself, you've got your car mode, so you can have a look at like changing the dynamics of it, and you've also got the sound system you can play about with your media, telephone, navigation, which is inbuilt as well. You've got your maps, Audi Connect, and the Audi smartphone, plus loads and loads of settings that you can feel free to have a look at your own time, which are really good. There's a lot of stuff packed into it. So as you know, I've had the car right since the beginning, right? But it's my wife's car, but just referring to it as mine. It's ours anyway. So we've had the car since the beginning. Like I mentioned, not had a single issue with it whatsoever. Now, we had an issue with a friction plate, right? So what happened was there was like a slight little seal under the gearbox. So the gearbox is working perfectly fine. There's no issues. All the liquid, everything is, you know, fine inside it, like I mentioned, reverse, whatever. But there was some sort of leak somewhere, and it was just like a little tiny minor mistake. The mechanic I gave it to, he couldn't figure it out, and for whatever reason, he misdiagnosed it as a clutch problem. But it doesn't sound right whatsoever, because obviously it's only £39,000. You shouldn't have any clutch issues at that time. Obviously, I don't know too much about cars myself, so I was none the wiser, right? And what happened was, obviously, I've gone ahead with the recommendation of changing the clutch. Later on, after he's done all the work, everything, he's realized, you know what, the issue was actually some sort of seal or something that was leaking. Had he fixed that, which only would have been cost about £30 or whatever, that would have, you know, solved the issue. And plus the friction plate, maybe like £50, £100, or whatever it was supposed to be, and plus the labor, right? So it eventually got longed out, and, you know, the wrong part actually got changed, which is the clutch. So I paid for a whole new clutch to be changed when it shouldn't have been that, which was my misdiagnosed. But regardless, to say that's what's happened with it so far. But the job was done thoroughly, professionally, really well. Very reputable company as well that actually did it, rectified it with the clutch. So they're well known for clutches, but obviously they misdiagnosed that issue specifically there was to do with something else that caused it, because all the symptoms were showing like a clutch. Anyway, so the car's got a brand new clutch inside it, so that's a positive. It's got a new clutch, new what's the other thing called? I just remembered. Yeah, it's called a flywheel. So it's got a new clutch, new flywheel. That whole seal's been changed around the gearbox as well. and everything's been done. So the car absolutely has no issues whatsoever. And that's all I can tell you so far about the car. So let's have a look around the rest of it. I know it's a bit of a tutorial, but I want you to have good information about it, because I've had to look at a few cars, you know, up north and down south and all these kind of areas, and it's a lot of effort, you know, just to go down and to see them as well. And it's just too much work. So I would have really appreciated if someone could have sent me like a thorough video just explaining, you know, if I'm really serious about a car, if I can know as much as possible about it. I'd rather be able to know, and you know, it just saves me a lot of time. So when I'm going down there, and if I don't like some sort of damage on the car, or whatever's wrong with it, etc., and the person's being upfront and honest about it, and that's something I really appreciate, it would at least save me the time and hassle of going there. Or I can see, you know what, this is possibly the right car for me, so hence I'm taking a bit of time just to explain to yourself. So other thing, it's got adjustable steering wheel, so you can pull it back, forward, whatever you want to do. I like it around about there. That's my preference. So that's so far with the car. And okay, it's got isofix towards the back, so you can put like children's car seats there. At the top right here, you know, you got all your lights. So these are operated by touch, you know, that's how they're operated. And as for the rest of them, so this one here turns on all the lights, including the back ones, and that's, you know, you can code it so that will enable it such that it only does it with when the doors open or closed or whatever. That's one thing. Let's go check out the rest of it. Actually, you know what, let's open up the bonnet. You can have a look at the front. Turn the car off. Actually, no, let me put it back on, because I want you to check out the running engine. Cool. So it's a little bit, find the one second, mate. There you go. You can hear the engine absolutely running nice and smooth. Really smooth sound in it. So no issues. All the levels have been topped up. All is maintained at that. In really good condition. All the oils, all is maintained. There's a battery. Here's the wiper fluid with a filter in it as well to make sure nothing goes inside it. Chassis number, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, like I mentioned, I've had it right from the beginning, so I know every single thing about the car. Any question you ask me, I'll be able to answer for you. Okay, so that's the engine. Okay, now let me show you the boot space and also show you what it comes with in the boot. So here's the extra wheel, and then you've got all the stuff to sort of jack it up with whenever, you know, the puncture or whatever is in place, and then you just lock it up like that to put it in. You've got loads of space here, so both of those seats fold, and you'll change your headlights or whatever to get done from there. Don't need to do it. Really good sound system in here. Very good sound system. That's one thing. You've got your triangle in case someone has an accident or you just pull over or whatever, you can put that behind the car. Cool. In terms of damages, I want to show you exactly which lady driver, you're not always the most careful or very stationary way. So that's that. So you got, so these are not like any sort of mark or something. I think it just needs to be like with a nail or something. You should be able to take that out. There's a mark here. What's the car? What's the front? There's nothing there. So this is the scuffs so far on the wheel. But look, every car has scuffs on it. Whatever you're gonna find on there. These wheels are absolutely brand new. So at least you just got them installed about a month or two ago, and I hardly drive much anyway. So we're not in a rush to sell the car. And also the disc pads, everything is new. on there as well. So like I said, we're not in a rush to sell it, but we've got another car. We don't really use this much. And that's it. All the wheels are new. In terms of the front, there is hardly any damage. Actually, there's some damage right here, just there. It's not really noticeable. So the parking sensors on the front and the back as well. Okay, on the side you got damage just here. You got this one here, and you got some marks just over there. On the side panels, nope, nothing here, nothing actually there. Got a bit of damage here, a little scratch just over here. Got small damage just there as well. The back, that's what it looks like. I'll cover that in a second again. So this is what the back is like. You've got some damage just right here, and a little bit damage just over there. I don't know how she managed to do this, but it is what it is. Obviously, moving stuff in and out of the car, so you'll have a few scratches, etc. there. It's a tiny bit of damage just around there as well, but obviously this stuff is natural. It happens. You've got someone else that scraped into her car while she was parked up. Someone scraped into it. You got that just on the side here as well. Covering up the wheels. These are all standard scuffs that you tend to get. So you tend to get good cars at this age. It's only what, since 2017, so you tend to get those places. Obviously, I priced it accordingly, knowing there's a small bit of damage on it. And another thing I don't want is anyone to come down, haggle, etc. Because I'm showing exactly what the condition is like of the property, so there shouldn't be anyone coming down and saying, oh, this is right with it, that's wrong with it, or whatever. And so, trying to haggle down or whatever. If you've got any questions, you want to know anything else about the car, I'd be more than happy to sort of address that. I'll try to be as transparent as possible, because even when I'm going around having a look at cars, I want to be as transparent. I want the other person to be as transparent as possible with me as well, trying to show me, this is what the car's like, or any issues inside it. Saves me the time of having to, sort of go around and sort of ask them unnecessary questions or whatever, and have a look to kind of see what the car is going to be like. So if you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch with me, but I'd really appreciate it if you definitely check out this video thoroughly and have everything addressed inside here that you might possibly need. And just ask me any questions, whatever you have, over the phone. I'll be more than happy to answer those. Just one thing, got 2 daughters, and this is the back, right? They absolutely love it. It's more than enough. Obviously, I'll put the seat back right now, that's how I tend to drive, but generally you've got plenty of space. Even though they've been here, there's not any sort of marks or they haven't wrecked the car or anything like that. On the back, it's really in a good condition. And it's good size for kids. And the interior is really durable, so it's like we've had it for a long time, had kids in here. Absolutely made no difference whatsoever. We've got plenty of space for 3 people to very comfortably sit there, which is really good. The AC is very cold in here as well, which is very nice. In summertime that works out really good. The boot space is excellent because I've had my kids' scooters, bikes, everything fits in here. It's really, really good. It's very good size. And although I said the AC is really cold, but in winter time it's really, really hot. You can easily make it very hot as well. It's very nice and toasty for those winter months. So it's always fully serviced, always MOT'd and everything. I've got all the paperwork for it as well, so it's always been well maintained by myself, and I've always looked after the car ever since I've had it. The other really good thing I like about it is it's so comfortable, so whenever you're going over any speed bumps or whatever, you can't feel it whatsoever, so it's very nice and comfortable. In terms of fuel efficiency, never had any issues. The fuel efficiency is very good, and this car gives me really good MPG as well. And also it's ULEZ compliant, so you can go into any ULEZ zones in London and not have to pay any charges for that as well. So guys, there you have it. That's everything that you need to know about the car. in terms of the history, the performance, all that other kind of stuff. I can't really think of anything else to tell you, really, to be honest. Obviously, it's got a little bit of damage on it, which has been a lady driver. She has, bumped and knocked in it, certain places, etc. But obviously, that's natural. Every single car has bumps and scratches on it. But I want you to know specifically about it, because I've not purchased cars in the past, and from the pictures you can't really tell if it's got any whatever issues, damages or whatever on it. But from my side, I want to make it as clear as possible, so you're not wasting a journey. People are coming from long, far distances, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, etc. So just don't want it to be a waste of journey for yourself. And there's one last thing I actually want to do, which is, let me take you on a little ride, and I want to show you how quiet the engine is. Makes no noise whatsoever. It's very smooth. Even if you can hear it, it's very smooth. There's no knocking or any sort of unusual sounds or anything like that as well. Okay, let's go for a little ride and take it from there. So let me close the window so you can hear it. It's nice and smooth. Makes no sounds whatsoever. Whatever sounds that you can hear are very smooth. You won't hear any sort of knocking or banging or whatever. Like I said, I've had the car since the first day, ever since it came out the showroom. So I know it literally like the back of my hand. So I'm just going to, accelerate a little bit quick so you can understand the performance of it as well. So this is me about to pick up. This picks up really well. I don't normally drive like this. I'm just doing it just so I can show you, so you get a better understanding of it. And even then, you could hear the engine gently, nicely picking up on the speed, and the sound was very pleasant as well. So this is currently what it sounds like, how it should sound like anyway. And but yeah, just want to take you on a little tour so you can kind of understand, get a better appreciation of the car. Guys, so that's it. That's all I had to share with you today about the car. If you have any questions for me, feel free to get in touch with myself. I'd be more than happy to answer anything for yourself. Thank you. I forgot to mention that I've got 2 keys for this as well. Yeah, I've got 2 keys. This is my one, and I've got another one inside the house.